when Mike and I purchased the house in 2021, we didn't start the YouTube channel, obviously. I started a blog to kind of just journal everything and keep track of all the things we were going through. So I thought it would be funny to go back and read those and then include some photos in a video. So I had started on this site called Wix and I couldn't figure it out. It was not user-friendly. So then I moved over to a different blogging website. So the first entry is called, Are We Really Doing This? And so I wrote, Andiamo, which means let's go. Here everything goes. Here goes everything. We're following our hearts and going on a wing and a prayer to Italy. Join us for no doubt a Griswold 5-alarm family fun journey. Full of daily shenanigans. We don't speak Italian. We don't know what we're about to get ourselves into. Don't you want to come along? We got our COVID test with negative results 48 hours before our scheduled flight on Sunday, February 21. We flew from Orlando, Florida to JFK, New York with Delta. Once in New York, the Italia agent did our temperature screenings, confirmed our negative results, asked us about our trip to Italy. We provided our home purchase documents and explained we had further business to conduct. She went and verified with her manager. We held our breath because at this point we were told Italy was closed. Like, we were not supposed to go to Italy. However, we asked our attorney, do you think they will let us in? And he said he can't guarantee, he's not sure, but we could say we had business. So that's what we were going on. I said, then after a few anxious minutes, she informed us we were all set. They were gonna let us now go to the gate. She even complimented how organized I was because I had everything in an Italy folder, all our documents for the house, with a tight grip. It's looking good so far, fingers, toes, and legs crossed. We then boarded on Air Italia at 5:40 p.m. and arrived at 7:55 into Rome, Fiumicino. On board, we were given dinner, breakfast, water, pillow, blanket. Mike and I had our own row, seats of 4, much better than my flight on Norwegian, where I was not even given a bottle of water on that 8-hour flight from Orlando to London. I still don't get that. My attention was immediately drawn to 5 younger, 18 or older, Americans at our gate. They all reminded me of my son, Michael. I even text Michael laughing when one of them in line boarding commented on how effing hot he was with his mask on, because we all had to wear masks at this point. I assumed they were returning to school or were in the military. They sat in our section, which for me was reassuring as I have severe flying anxiety. I just felt, we got 5 strong young guys here. Upon landing in Rome, our flight immediately proceeded to the COVID testing site. It was a pretty smooth process, except for a lot of unnecessary paperwork, in my opinion. We had been instructed by Air Italia to pre-print forms. Actually, the airlines called us to personally confirm our travel details, including our negative test, that we had to print all these forms. Again, on board, we were given more forms. Then immediately landing in Rome, another set of forms. I will never forget the amount of forms we had to fill out just to fly. It was ridiculous. So much paper waste. Then actually we were instructed to complete an online form to expedite the registration. Anyway, we went through the COVID testing with this group of young guys, started talking as we seemed to be the only Americans. The only Americans who had no clue, LOL, and spoke no Italian. We were in good company with these guys. Come to find out, they were all Marines. They were being stationed in Italy. Right then, I knew my dad was with me. I told them my dad was a Marine, Vietnam veteran, and he had just passed away in August. This is February. I told them to be safe. It was comical watching them get COVID tested and their reactions to the jammed nasal swab. When Marines are brought to feeling uncomfortable, you know you're not overreacting. It was not pleasant, but if it allowed entry into Italy, we had to do it. Now we pray no fever, because they were checking your temperature too, and a negative result. At this point, our stress level is through the roof. Our ticket is called, our passport is confirmed, we're handed a negative test. Once we received our negative result, now we go to customs. Again, we prayed and held our breath. We approached the customs police. At this point, I'm really anxious inside. Mike is too. I don't even know if we're looking at each other. Okay, moving on. Surprisingly, we only had a very simple question about our visit and a return date to America. So the immigration agent literally asked us how long we were going to be in Italy. We showed our documents on the home purchase, and my handy dandy folder came into play again. The police, there was the polizia there too. The police reviewed our Italian copies and we were stamped and on our way. Next is the rental car. We got lost twice, but finally found it. We loaded up the car and thank God Google Maps was working, because half the time it doesn't. Now we're on our way to our new home we have not seen. We've never driven in Italy before. Here goes everything. 50 minutes later, we arrive. We met our non-speaking agent, Nicoletta, at the town square at 11 a.m. She walked us down to the house and gave us a crash course on everything. We didn't understand anything because she didn't speak any English. She did not try to use Google Translate. She didn't care that she couldn't communicate with us. She just spoke in Italian. We had no idea what she was saying. And, you know, you would have thought, being her customer that we just paid 4,000 euros, 5,000 US dollars, she would have tried to communicate with us. Nope.
Questa è tutta la vista, quella è Roma, Para Sabina, si vede la visuale. Attenzione, ok? Eccola qua.
Are you taking a video?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Qua giù? Allora. Vado io, aspetta che faccio con violenza. Aspetta. Vado che c'è la corrente, allora devo accenderla. Devo accendere la corrente. Aspetta che accendo la luce. Sì. Ok. Ok. Sì, si può anche aprire quello, se uno vuole. Faccio tutto. Ok. Allora. Allora, qui c'è tutta la vetrata.
From there, we walked to the town commune to meet a few neighbors, and then we were on our own. Oh, she must have walked us up to the, I'm trying to think what that means. She must have walked us up to show us where the little cafe was, and we probably met a few people. That's right, because that's where we met Natalini. He happens to be like an electrician. So I said, we're on day one. What could go wrong? We, at this point, had no water yet. Our electric was on, thank God. We started doing what we do, immediately cleaning up. That's right. So when we got to the house, the water was not turned on. The attorney's office was taking care of the utilities, and they said that the water should take like 5 days to get it turned on. And they did this well in advance, and we got there and there was no water. We knew that going, it was still not turned on. I remember the attorney's office saying it's taken an extra amount of time. It usually does not take this long. And Mike and I are like, of course, it's because it's us. So we got there with no water. The electric was on. Every time we go to Italy, there's these like little roly-poly bugs that are all curled up that usually we just have to clean out of the house. It was about 8:30 p.m. when all of a sudden the power went out. A frantic call to our daughter Kaylee to find an Airbnb for us. Luckily, there was one in the town and the host answered. A very reasonable $50 for a clean, warm room with a toilet. Perfect. We will deal with life tomorrow. The past 48 hours has been simply exhausting. I completely forgot about that. Mike and I are saying the first night was that plumbing issue. So we're mistaken. It wasn't. The first night when we got there, we had no water. So we thought we were all settled, and then the electric went out. That's why we went to the Airbnb. See, that's why this blog is gonna come in handy. So that's that entry, and I will include some of the photos from the plane. So that was day one. The water, the electric was shut off. So in our little village, there's a Airbnb up the road, and that's when Kaylee was able to find it and contacted the guy. He just happened to still be there. It's kind of like a Airbnb that has like a bedroom and a bathroom, and then you go downstairs and it has like a shared kind of like little common area kitchenette, you know, with a refrigerator. But it was just a, you know, queen bed in a room. It was clean, it was nice. He had availability, so we went there for $50 the first night. That was night number one. So thanks for listening. Buongiorno. It is, I don't even know what day it is. Monday morning. We arrived into Rome. Customs was no problem. We showed our paperwork. We had to get COVID tested. That was the biggest procedure, waiting in line. And come to find out, there were 5 Marines on our flight. So those guys were all getting tested with us, which was another sign from my dad that we were in the right spot today. So Semper Fi to all those Marines. We are headed to the house. Mike is driving. We just rented the car. We don't speak Italian, but we are going anyway. Honey, say hi.
Hi.
Pack my bags and close the door. Airplanes waiting, can't ignore. Off to Italy, sunny shore. Rome by night, I'll explore. Viva l'Italia, under blue skies. Gelato mountains and pizza pies. History whispers in the streets. Summer romance in every heartbeat. Venice canals where gondolas glide. Beyond the city, my secrets hide. Florence art in every stride. Tuscany's hills, my dreams ride. Viva l'Italia, under blue skies. Gelato mountains and pizza pies. History whispers in the streets. Summer romance in every heartbeat. Whispered poems on ancient walls. Echoes of laughter
in marble halls. Sunset kisses where shadows